From Kokomo Municipal Stadium in Kokomo, Indiana, it's almost time for Rockford Rivets baseball. Today, the visiting Rivets take on the 4-4 Kokomo Jackrabbits. Hello, everybody. Good for a tie for last place in the Great Lakes East Division with the Battle Creek Bombers. The Rivets were rained out yesterday in Battle Creek after showing up to the ballpark, sitting around for about 3 hours. And then the umpires and the home grounds crew determined that C.O. Brown Stadium was not playable. So the Rivets did not play yesterday. Kokomo is coming into this one off of a 10-0 loss to the Kalamazoo Growlers yesterday. The Rivets have lost 5 of 6 games entering this one, with their last win coming over these Kokomo Jackrabbits at Rivets Stadium on June 5th. It was a 16-2 victory for the Rivets. The Rivets lost Game 1 to Kokomo by 12-7. So it's already the second series of the season between these two squads. They'll play 12 total in this 72-game Northwoods League season. Today on the Rockford Rivets pregame show, we'll have Rockford Rivets outfielder Troy Tucci. He's a graduate of Rockford University. He just wrapped up his playing career there. He's on a temp contract here with the Rivets, getting some playing time early on in the season for manager J.T. Scara. I caught up with him yesterday during the rain delay. So yesterday we were supposed to air the interview, so mind the end of the interview. I say Rivets coming up against the Battle Creek Bombers, but of course today the Rivets will take on the Kokomo Jackrabbits. Without further ado, let's toss it to our interview with Rockford Rivets outfielder Troy Tucci. On the Rockford Rivets pregame show here with Rockford University graduate and Rivets outfielder Troy Tucci. Troy, thanks for taking the time. How you doing?
Thanks, man. I'm doing well. And yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. I want to take a look back at last year. Of course, you were on the Rivets last year in addition to joining the team for the first few weeks of this season. How on earth did you end up on the Rivets last season?
Well, it was a wild one. I definitely wasn't expecting it. I got a call randomly from my coach, Bob Koopman. Actually, I was in the middle of doing a lesson with one of these kids that I was working with at the time, and he just gave me a call, and I was like, I actually answered because I was like, he doesn't normally call me, so I was like, hey, Coop, can I call you back? I'm busy right now. He's like, actually, no. I was like, okay, is everything all right? And he's like, yeah, you might be getting a call or a text from Chad Bauer or JT Scara just about joining the team. You know, the Rivets need a fill-in right now for the time being because, you know, something happened with COVID, you know, how all that went, and, you know, he gave me a call, and I definitely jumped on the opportunity as quickly as I could.
Yeah. You and a few teammates joined the team last year and definitely stepped up big to help everybody out here, so I know we all appreciate that at the team. Taking a look at your spring at Rockford University, how did the experience of the Northwoods League for the last 2 weeks of last summer help you out come springtime?
Oh, it definitely helped me out a lot. I would say on and off the field. I think that it definitely prepared me a little bit for just the road trips. I mean, I've been playing ball for a little bit, but the road trips definitely were a little more than normal that I'm used to. But just the talent level out here and just the guys around me and everyone's main goal, it was just awesome to get a taste of that and to just see what I can do out there.
Yeah, certainly. And then looking at this summer, how'd you end up back on the team?
Well, we finished our season pretty early in the playoffs, and probably 3 or 4 days after my season ended, I told everyone that I was okay with being done with the game and to start working and getting on with my life a little bit here. But you know, I jumped back on. JT gave me a call, and he's like, I'll give you a few days to think about it and, you know, see what you have going for you and weighing out your options, and, you know, I'll call you back. And he actually called me like 15 minutes before. He's like, yeah, I just don't want you to change your mind these last 15 minutes here. I know I told you I'd call you at noon, but I'm gonna call you a little earlier. So it was nice though. I mean, he called me, gave me the opportunity, and I was definitely grateful for it. I mean, it was awesome to be able to do it again and say I did it again and just get another taste of it out here.
Yeah, certainly it's a lot of fun to be around a big group, especially a group like is in that locker room right now waiting for this rain to stop. Looking at your spring season again, I know we talked earlier about it. You started a little slow, but then you turned it on. What would you say the X factor was for you turning it on down the stretch?
Honestly, it came down to a lot of just mental focus. I think that I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I was actually named captain this year, so I thought that was another outside source of pressure that I was putting on myself more than I needed to. And I was just, honestly, I was looking to just do unreal things and put up unreal numbers, and it was just not realistic for me. So I think that mentally I was just at a disadvantage because I was just putting a lot of pressure on myself, and just being my own worst critic. And once I just gained that confidence back and just understood, how I got to where I'm at today and where I'm at, and just be proud of what I've done and not really live with any regrets. So towards the end of the season, I just stopped really caring and started doing it for myself, and just obviously for my guys, I want to do well and succeed, but just not doing it specifically for anyone else, doing it to make myself feel happy and not for others, really. So, a lot of mental training and a lot of mental focus has been in the making this past season.
Yeah, of course, baseball is certainly a mental game. I think anybody can tell you that. You said, I just want to play so I don't have any regrets. Do you have any regrets?
I don't. Honestly, I don't. I really don't. I mean, I took a lot of time off of baseball. I thought that I was done with baseball my sophomore year in high school. I ended up chasing basketball because I thought that was going to be the route for me. Come my senior year in high school, after transferring to a few high schools for basketball, I tear my first ACL. And then a year later, I rehab and go to a school in Minnesota, Division III, for 8 days and tear my other ACL. So it's a lot of people don't know that, and it's pretty crazy. But I just have a lot of adversity, and I don't want to give up. So I definitely don't have a regret. I just wish I would have stuck with baseball, honestly, a little bit longer, because it's really my passion to be around the game, and that's becoming huge now. It's becoming understood to all new avenues now, and it's really special. And I hope that it can help out the younger culture and the younger kids in the game, and just keep bringing those positive influencers into the game and coaching. Obviously it stems from them and it helps with all that. So going back to what you said, though, no regrets, definitely not.
Man, that's quite the journey. I didn't know that. That's for sure.
6 years off the game of baseball. So 6 years away from baseball, and then I ended up picking it back up after I rehab for my left ACL. I was like, I'm just going to go the JUCO route. Went to Harper, played basketball there. Didn't really enjoy it much. I was like, this isn't it. I'm too slow as it is. I'm like, I can't move as fast as I used to. Can't cut as much as I could. So ended up just talking to the baseball coach at Harper, and I was like, hey, can you give me a shot? And it was a rough season. I didn't play. I had one at bat the last game of the season, and then the year following, I just put in all my work and all my time towards that, and ended up playing the remainder of the year, and then getting the opportunity to play at Rockford University with Koopman. So it's been a fun journey for sure.
Man, that's wild how things tend to work out like that. And you mentioned briefly, the next step of your journey. You're probably going to be done with baseball after your temp contract's up here. What are the next steps for you, and what exactly would you want to do?
Honestly, like I said, I just want to be around the game, and even if it's not anything to do with baseball, I'll still have baseball be around my life, no matter what it is, whether it's a career, whether it's just a passion still, or both. But I want to be around the game, and I want to be able to influence people in a positive way, I don't like to talk about myself much, but I mean, obviously my story is a little bit different, than most, and I've faced a lot of adversity and I've been through a lot. So I think that having the experience that I have, and the stuff that I've been through, I just want to instill that and instill good, positive thoughts and actions into people younger than me, or people that need it, just people that want to hear it. I'm a really big team guy, and I think that's the main reason why JT wanted me back. I mean, my stats don't really show much from last season or even this season to start, but I'm having a blast. I mean, I'm trying to, like I told you a few days ago, I'm trying to make an impact on these guys, whether it's 10 days, whether it's 30 days, whether he wants me for a whole season and my body decides to be okay with that. But I just want to be around the game, like I said, and just have that positive influence on those around me, wherever I am,
Looking here at Rockford University and on this team, one guy who might have had a positive influence on, I would hope, is today's starter, Rockford University. Tell us about Jared a little bit outside of the numbers.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, Jared is a great kid. I got the chance to know him this past season. It's his first year back, and the kid's a workhorse. I mean, he does what he can in order to help him and his guys out, and he's just a bulldog. I just like to refer him as that because it's almost like he has the mental toughness of somebody that has been doing it for so long and has just gone through whatever he's gone through. He's always on it, and he always, or at least lets everyone think that, Yeah. And if not, that's a good trait to have. I mean, I've gotten to know him a little bit more. I didn't really, get the chance to know him a whole lot outside of the baseball aspect. During the season here with the Rivets, it's been fun. I've gotten to know him honestly a lot more just in these last few weeks over the whole season. So he did really well at Rockford University. I think that he's a special talent. He's a special kid. I think he's going to do great things for even the Rockford Rivets and the Rockford Regents going back to school next year. I think that he'll be a lot of help this year. I just hope that JT lets him hit again, because I think that he can do a lot. Honestly, I think that even like Chad told me last year, it takes at least 2 weeks for these guys to get used to this league. You know, this league is nothing generous to the body, the mind, the soul, whatever it is. You know, it's baseball, and baseball is fun, but it has its disadvantages and failures. You know, and obviously it's tough mentally, like you said. But I think that he'll come around. I'm hoping that we get this game going here soon, because I know that he's probably jumping up and down all antsy, drinking Monsters and Bang energy drinks before he gets up there. But I'm confident in him. And even though I'm not backing him up today, I think that he's going to do really well, and I'm going to, you know, hopefully be right by his side and tell him whatever I need to tell him in order for him to keep going, because he's a special talent. And I think that he also puts a lot of pressure on himself, and a lot of tendencies of me are foreshadowed on him almost, and I've sensed that me and him are very similar. And even staying with him and, you know, rooming with him this past night, because JT thinks we're close enough, so it's nice. But yeah, I've gotten to know him a lot, and he's a great kid. He's going to do special things on and off the field, and I'm excited for it.
Had a big freshman year at Rockford University and looking for a bounce-back start today against the Battle Creek Bombers. Troy, thanks for the time, and good luck.
Of course, man. Thank you so much for your time.
That was Rockford Rivets outfielder Troy Tucci. Troy's such a great guy, always fun to catch up with him. And hearing his story, I really did not know much of his baseball story until I chatted with him yesterday. We're about roughly 3 to 4 minutes away from first pitch here at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. Rivets and Jackrabbits about to get underway. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup for today. It'll be Nick Rispoli going for the Kokomo Jackrabbits. He's a freshman from Dayton, native of Pittsburgh. He had 4 appearances this spring for the Flyers and pitched to an ERA of 12. For Rockford, it'll be the freshman from Rockford University who I talked with Troy, Jared Herzog, the left-hander. Just wrapped up his freshman year at Rockford. Native of Ottawa, stands at 6 foot, 175 pounds. In his last appearance, his first start, he took on the Kenosha Kingfish back on June 1st. And it was a rough one. Jared pitched 3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 7 earned runs, 5 walks, and just 1 strikeout in a 16-2 Rockford Rivets loss. Taking a look at the scenery here at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. It's an all-turf field, very well maintained. A comfortable temperature of about 81 degrees. Good crowd on hand for a Tuesday night. Crowd still filing in. It is very, very humid. So I'm sure these players are glad it's a night game. Similar humidity to what it was on Sunday in Battle Creek. And I know whenever it's humid, you know, that sweat starts to pile up on uniforms, and it can be a drag, but that should get a little bit better as the night goes on and the sun sets here in central Indiana. There is some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the vicinity, but it looks like those storms are dissipating as they approach Kokomo. So it shouldn't be much of a problem. It has rained on and off here in Kokomo today, but again, it's an all-turf field here in Kokomo, so that shouldn't be much of a problem. The dimensions here, 330 down the left field line, 400 to dead center, and 330 down the right field line, 369 to the right field alley, and 348 to the left field alley. So not exactly a hitter's park, especially with wooden bats. Maybe with metal bats, it plays a little more shallow, but in college summer leagues, it gets a little bit tougher as those wood bats have a little less pop. Rivets are just one of 2 teams in the entire Northwoods League without a home run entering tonight's action, so perhaps that's something to watch. 8th game of the season coming up for the Rockford Rivets as they take on the Kokomo Jackrabbits. Rivets looking to avoid losing their 6th out of their last 7 games. We'll take a short break for the national anthem and come back with the starting lineups and baseball after this. Rivets, Jackrabbits coming up on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. That was a rousing rendition of the national anthem here in Kokomo. Almost time for baseball between the Rockford Rivets and the Kokomo Jackrabbits. Here are your starting lineups. First, for the visiting Rockford Rivets, managed by J.T. Scara. Dylan Robertson, the freshman from Iowa Western Community College, moves up to the top spot after getting a day off in Battle Creek a few days ago. Tyler Hawkins, the redshirt freshman from Louisville, plays in center field and bats second. Wade Elliott, the sophomore headed to Louisiana Tech, will bat third and play first base. Jared Cushing, the redshirt freshman from Xavier, will play third base and bat cleanup. Blake Mosley bats fifth as the DH. Cam McDonald, the redshirt sophomore from Illinois, will bat sixth and play right field. Brody Harding, also from Illinois, will play shortstop and bat seventh. Greg Ziegler in the 8th spot and in left field. And Max Malley, the sophomore catcher from Evansville, rounds it out in the 9 spot. As for the Kokomo Jackrabbits, here's their starting order. Raymond Hilbrick, the sophomore from Purdue Northwest, will play leadoff and play center field. Justice Burke bats in the 2-hole. Chris Santiago will be the third baseman, batting third. Jackson Jarvis, the redshirt freshman from Columbia State, will play right field. Dylan Dennis bats fifth and plays first base. TJ Fontaine making his Northwoods League debut today. The redshirt freshman from San Diego State will be the DH, batting sixth. Ben Lavorsi, the returning Jackrabbit, bats seventh and catches. Mason Melton out in left, batting eighth, and Ryan Ellis rounds it out. He's the shortstop, a freshman from St. Mary's, and the Jackrabbits are managed by Hayden Carter. Again, it'll be Nick Rispoli, a right-hander from Dayton, standing at 6'2", 185. He's got a good fastball. One Rivet has already faced Nick Rispoli this baseball season. It is Jared Cushing, as Dayton and Xavier played each other in the regular season. It was quite the matchup. Xavier took it by a final of 24-16, and Cushing faced Rispoli in the 4th inning of that game and drew a walk with the bases loaded. Perhaps not a good sign for the Jackrabbits, but Rispoli has made 2 appearances this Northwoods League season, pitching 3 innings, and has not allowed an earned run yet. He's struck out 3 and walked just 2. It's almost time for baseball in Kokomo. Play ball has been shouted by a young fan into the PA system. Almost time to get underway. The home plate umpire today, William Pascal. Reggie Drummer will be at third base, and Nate Hall is at first. The same umpiring crew as the Rivet Series in Traverse City, as well as their last one in Battle Creek. Dylan Robertson, the left-handed batter, steps in the box, stares out at Nick Rispoli, and the 6'2" freshman steps on the rubber, working from the stretch, comes set at the letters, takes a deep breath, and fires the first pitch, swung on and popped up over the net, and we are underway at 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for joining us on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Just getting underway in Kokomo. Rispoli now sets at the belt, has his sign, and here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball airmails the catcher Ben Lavorsi. He leaped out of his crouch, didn't matter, and it's 0-1. Dylan Robertson, a very aggressive approach in the top spot. The last time he led off, he singled on the first pitch of the game in Traverse City, hitting .476, top 5 in the Northwoods League to lead the Rivets. 1-1 pitch, swung on and lined into shallow center field. On comes Hilbrick, and it drops in front of him, nearly gets by him. Robertson takes a big turn around first base, but he'll stop there, and it's a leadoff single for Dylan Robertson. Rivets and Jackrabbits just getting underway in Kokomo. And with a runner on first base, here's Tyler Hawkins. Hawkins, the redshirt freshman from Louisville, tonight's center fielder, batting .357 through 3 games, leading the team with a .643 slugging percentage. Robertson with good speed on first base. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball outside, check swing from Hawkins, and he went around, says Nate Hall at first base. And the count is 0-1. Hawkins was 1 for 4 in the Rivets last game on Sunday in Battle Creek. The Rivets lost that one 6-1. The kick in the 0-1. Another curveball buried in the dirt, swung through by Hawkins, and it's 0-2. Tyler can knock the ball around the yard unlike few baseball players that I have seen. The sound off of his bat when he hits a baseball in batting practice is just so satisfying. We'll see if he can make contact here. Rispoli sets and comes home with the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses inside, and it's 1-2. Rispoli with a good four-seam fastball that sits in the low 90s. But it's all about mixing in that off-speed stuff, especially as a right-handed pitcher. Just velocity's not going to get it done at this level. Rispoli with a long pause, stares at Robertson at first base, takes a leap back. Now Rispoli comes set, and he jumps off to throw over to check on Robertson. He's back without a slide. Count is 1-2 on Hawkins, looking to avoid his 5th strikeout of the season. He swings real hard from the right side every single swing. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Nick Rispoli. Curveball on the artificial turf laid off by Hawkins. Good take, and the count is 2-2. Ben Lavorsi had to slide out of his crouch there to knock that down. It is a completely artificial turf field here at Kokomo Municipal, including around home plate and on the mound. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball up and in, taken for ball 3. So after Hawkins was down 0-2, the count has run full. Just getting underway in Kokomo. Scoreless ball game, top half of the first. Rivets have a runner on first base and Dylan Robertson. Nick Rispoli comes set. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball flied into center field. Hilbrick has a beat on it, doesn't move more than one step and reaches up to make the grab. Robertson retreats to first base, and there's one away in the top half of the first. Hawkins got under that one. Fastball that ran in on the hands a little bit. So here's Wade Elliott, the sophomore headed to Louisiana Tech in the fall. Just wrapped up 2 seasons at Grayson Community College in Denison, Texas. Native of Edmond, Oklahoma, has 3 two-hit games as a Rivet. Here's the first pitch to him. Fastball just misses the outer half of the plate, and it's 1-0. Elliott hitting .292 in 7 games this season. 3 RBIs, 4 strikeouts. Time is called by Lavorsi behind the plate. Elliott steps his front foot out, now back into the right-handed batter's box. Righty on righty matchup. Kokomo infield at double play depth. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Uniform matchup today. Kokomo in their home tan vanilla uniforms with brown and orange trim, orange numbers, with Kokomo Jackrabbits text across the front. Brown caps, brown socks. Fastball in there for a called strike just on the inner half. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. As for the Rivets, they're road dark grays, dark tops, gray trousers, black and gold piping, and black socks. 2-1. Fastball buried in the turf, knocked down by Lavorsi, taken for ball 3. Rispoli struggling with command a little bit early on, had Tyler Hawkins 0-2 before working a full count to him and inducing a fly out to center field. Dylan Robertson started the inning with a single. He's still on first base. The freshman from Pittsburgh sets at the belt. Stares in, kicks and delivers. The runner goes. Fastball outside. Throw down to second is in time to get Robertson. The throw was on the left field side of the second base bag. Lavorsi bounced it down there, and it was a great play by Justice Burke, the second baseman, to snare it and slap the tag down just in the nick of time. And Dylan Robertson is caught stealing. That's the second out of this first inning. Base is empty now, no score. 3-2 to Wade Elliott. Swung on and laced to second on the ground. Ellis gobbles it up and throws on to first. Dylan Dennis with the stretch over there to retire Wade Elliott. So despite a leadoff single, Nick Rispoli faces the minimum in the Rockford top half of the first. And after a half inning, it's Rivets nothing. Kokomo coming up on the Rivets Radio Network. No score in Kokomo. Going to the bottom half of the first as Jared Herzog, the left-hander from Rockford University, gets his warm-up pitches wrapped up. Jared got roughed up in his first start of the season on June 1st against Kenosha, looking for a bounce back today. He had a solid freshman season for the Regents, pitching to a 3.65 ERA, 44 strikeouts, 23 walks, and a 10.7 K per 9 average. He'll square off against the top half of this Kokomo Jackrabbits order, starting with Raymond Hilbrick. Hilbrick, the sophomore from Purdue Northwest. He's got a hit in all 8 games this season, was 2 for 8 against the Rivets. Lefty on lefty, the first pitch misses low and away for ball 1. Hilbrick up there in the team standings for batting average for the Jackrabbits, .313. The wind in the 1-0 pitch. Fastball slapped into left field, sends Ziegler back, and he reaches up and makes the grab. 2 pitches and 1 out for Jared Herzog in the bottom half of the first. 0-0 ball game between the Rivets and Jackrabbits, and there's 1 down for Justice Burke. A strong start is going to be so key for any Rivets pitcher over the next few games, as the Rivets have really struggled in the first 2 innings of games. They've given up 20 runs in the first 2 innings this season. First pitch to Justice Burke, swing and a miss. Swung on and missed, whichever you prefer, and it's 0-1. Burke has the best slash line on this Jackrabbits team, 382, 462, and 529. The 0-1 pitch misses low and away, and it's 1-1. Burke, the redshirt junior from Embry-Riddle, playing second base today. Stares out at Herzog, and the kick in the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses low and away, and it's 2-1. But Herzog, in his last time out, surrendered 4 runs in the first inning, 3 of which were earned. 2-1 misses downstairs, and it's 3-1. Herzog's command was really bad in that first start, but that's one thing that he really didn't struggle with this spring at Rockford University, was walks and hit by pitches. 3-1, swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count is full, 3-2. Herzog hit 4 batters in his last start, in addition to those 5 walks. That's 9 free passes doled out. Certainly not what you want. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a foul tip off of Max Malley. The Rockford catcher couldn't corral that one into his glove. Got a piece of his body. Stands up, walks around, shakes it off, back into his squat now. And we'll have another 3-2 pitch between Herzog and Justice Burke. Burke holds his hands out in front of his chest. Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded up the third base line, foul. And we'll do it again. Good battle from the 2-hole hitter. That's what you'd expect from the leading hitter on this Kokomo Jackrabbits squad that enters this game averaging 7 runs per game. Burke with a mature approach, just looking for his pitch. Here's another 3-2. Curveball grounded foul up the third base side to the Jackrabbits dugout. Fielded by Jackson Jarvis, who's in the hole. And the battle rages on between Burke and Herzog. Herzog steps on the right side of the rubber, holds the glove in front of his face. Kicks and deals another 3-2, swung on and fouled off again, this time down the right side. Out of play and out of the stadium. Great at-bat, and as these at-bats go on, they certainly favor hitters. Burke has seen nearly all of Herzog's hand. Fastball, changeup, breaking ball combination. Burke steps back in the right-handed batter's box, taps the plate, stares out at Herzog, and another 3-2 pitch. Misses downstairs for ball 4. So Burke's patience pays off there with a 1-out base runner. Bottom half of the first, scoreless ball game in Kokomo. Each team putting a base runner on in the first inning, to no avail for Rockford. In the top half, we'll see what Kokomo can do with Burke on first base and Chris Santiago stepping to the plate. The redshirt freshman from St. Mary's hitting .250 this season. 4 ribbies. Was 0 for 3 in yesterday's 10-0 loss for Kokomo to Kalamazoo. Did draw a walk, though. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Herzog stares at the base runner and comes home with the first pitch. Fastball right down the middle. Taken for strike 1. Rivets infield, shaded at double play depth. Brody Harding at shortstop. Dylan Robertson at second. Wade Elliott holds on Justice Burke at first base. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball popped into right center field. On comes McDonald, the right fielder, shading towards center, makes the grab, and Burke scampers back to first base. 2 down now, runner on first for Jackson Jarvis. McDonald with a ton of experience in the outfield for the University of Illinois this spring. Played all his 44 games out there. Listed on the roster as an infielder and an outfielder, though. Can play the corner infield spots. Jackson Jarvis steps in. He's 2 for 4 yesterday with 2 doubles. Herzog sets at the letters and comes home with the first pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball that swept the outer half of the plate. And it's 0-1. Jarvis is a bit of a free swinger, the redshirt freshman from Columbia State. 5 walks, 10 strikeouts. Good for the team lead. Herzog with a long pause, staring at Burke, and now the runner takes off. Pitch misses outside. Throw down to second is not in time. Did Burke stay on the bag? Yes, he did, says Reggie Drummer, the third base umpire. And there's a runner in scoring position in the Kokomo first inning. Jackrabbits looking to strike first. Both teams aggressive on the base paths. That was a trend of the first 2-game series up in Rockford. Jarvis has 4 RBIs this summer, and a 5th is now out there. Burke with good speed. Jarvis was 1 for 8 in that 2-game series in Rockford. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a tailing fastball. Foul tip off the bat of Jarvis. Found the glove of Malley, and it's 1-2. Herzog looking for his first strikeout here in the first inning. If Jarvis reaches, Dylan Dennis waits on deck. Tough lefty-on-lefty matchup for Jarvis. The set at the letters, the kick in the 1-2. Swing and a miss on a curveball in the turf. Caught by Malley, and the inning is over. Jared Herzog works around a 1-out walk to Justice Burke and strands him on second base. And after one, we're scoreless in Kokomo on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Going to the second inning in Kokomo, 0-0 game between the Rockford Rivets and the Kokomo Jackrabbits. Rivets will send up Jared Cushing, Blake Mosley, and Cam McDonald. 4-5-6 in the Screws order. Battle between Great Lakes East rivals in the Northwoods League today. Kokomo tied for third place with Kalamazoo. Rockford tied for fourth place. Excuse me, sixth place, fifth place, whichever you want to call it, with a 2-5 record with Battle Creek. So the Rivets looking to get out of the basement today. Rispoli working from the stretch. Here's the first pitch to Cushing. Misses low and away. Like we talked about at the top of the show, Jared Cushing and Nick Rispoli squared off in a Xavier Dayton matchup this spring. The set and the 1-0 pitch. Nice breaking ball in there for a called strike. Taken by Cushing. The count is 1-1. The score of that game was 24-16. Sounds like a football score more than it does a baseball score. Cushing walked with the bases loaded, so Rispoli let up a run there. The 1-1 is lined right back up the middle, off the glove of Rispoli, into the hands of the shortstop Ellis, and he throws on to first in time to beat Cushing, and there's one away in the second inning. Cushing gave that ball a ride up the middle, and perhaps the glance off the glove of Rispoli helped retire Cushing. One away, base is empty. Top of the second, 0-0 ball game, and here's Blake Mosley. Mosley is 3 for 10 in 3 games as a Rivet, the sophomore transferring from Missouri State. Has a .500 on base percentage. First pitch to the lefty, misses down and in, 1-0. Crowd buzzing here in Kokomo in the early goings of this one. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses in the exact same spot. Down and in near the shoe tops of Mosley, and it's 2-0. The shoes of the Rockford Rivets have been subject of much controversy on this road trip. Rispoli sets at the chest, now brings it down to the belt. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses high to Mosley, and it's 3-0. Rockford headed out on this, what was supposed to be a 4-game road trip, which is now turned into a 3-game road trip. First to Battle Creek. Rivets didn't receive a travel notice from the Jackrabbits until they were on the road, 3-0. Fastball misses inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk issued to Blake Mosley. Rivets have a base runner for the second consecutive inning. Here's Cam McDonald. Jackrabbits nothing, Rivets nothing, top half of the second. But Kokomo did not send the Rivets an itinerary, which included the information that metal cleats are illegal on Kokomo Municipal Stadium's all-turf field. So a lot of the Rivets players didn't bring turf shoes. So some players wearing gym shoes out there, including Cam McDonald, who steps in now. First pitch swung on and fouled straight back, 0-1. McDonald, the redshirt sophomore from Illinois, is 0 for 4. Made his 2021 summer debut on Sunday in Battle Creek. Played for the Rivets in 2019 and 2020. Career .289 hitter in the Northwoods League. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and hammered down the third base line and through for a base hit. Mosley on his horse. He's being waved around third base. He's going to go to the plate. The relay throw is in time to get Mosley. An aggressive send from JT Scara. Cam McDonald is safe at second base with a double. And Mosley is cut down trying to score from first base. A great relay throw by the shortstop Ryan Ellis on the money, and Ben Lavorsi applied the tag. And Mosley didn't even slide. Still a runner in scoring position, now 2 down for Brody Harding. Harding, the left-handed batter, faces off against the right-handed pitcher Rispoli. First pitch. Fastball taken on the outer half for a called strike. It's Cam McDonald's first hit this summer, making him 1 for 5. Harding is 2 for 10. Both those 2 hits coming in the first game that he played against these Kokomo Jackrabbits. The set and the 0-1 pitch. Fastball lined into right field, and it drops in front of Jarvis. Cam McDonald gets the stop sign at third base. The throw goes all the way to the plate between the mound and the plate, and Harding smartly takes off for second base and slides in safely. Heads up base running by Brody Harding. That'll be scored a single. And he moved up to second on the throw. Harding just hit that ball a little bit too hard for McDonald to score from second base. He's discussing with JT Scara, but McDonald probably would have scored on the play as that throw from Jarvis in right was well off the mark, but now there's a runner on second and third for Greg Ziegler. First pitch misses in the turf. Nice block by Lavorsi to save a run, and it's 1-0. Top half of the second, scoreless ball game, but the Rivets threatening. Rockford scoring first would be huge. Rivets have not scored first in quite some time. They did so in the first game of their Traverse City series last week. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and lifted foul. Out of play down the first base side. Bounces off the grandstand roof and out of the park. It's 1-1. Ziegler led off the first few games of his summer season, now gets moved down to the 8 spot. The sophomore also transferring from Missouri State. 1 for 11, was 1 for 4 on Sunday with 3 strikeouts. Rispoli sets, takes a deep breath, and here comes the 1-1. Fastball misses the outer half of the zone, and the count is 2-1. Early parts of games have so often determined the result for the Rivets this season. Certainly not what you want, but just the way the ball is bounced for him. 2-1 pitch. Fastball misses high and away. The count is 3-1. Prime opportunity for the sophomore from Joliet, Illinois. Started the season 0 for 11 before a single in the 8th inning on Sunday. We'll see what he can do here. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball chopped to shortstop. Ryan Ellis charges, scoops it up, and throws in time to first base to beat a hustling Greg Ziegler. And the Rivets strand runners on second and third base. And Blake Mosley was thrown out at the plate earlier in the inning, so an opportunity squandered in the top half of the second for the Rivets, and the score remains 0-0 after 1.5 on the Rockford Rivets radio network. Jackrabbits and Rivets scoreless as we go to the bottom half of the second in Kokomo. Jared Herzog working a scoreless first inning. We'll see if he can avert trouble in this second inning, making it the first time in quite some time that the Rivets have not allowed a run in the first 2 innings. In fact, it would be the first time in 6 games that a Rivets starter would not allow a run in either of the first 2 frames. Dylan Dennis, the 5 batter, steps in. Here's the first pitch to him. Fastball right down the middle, taken for a called strike. Dennis, the right-handed batter, sophomore from Loyola Marymount. Was 1 for 3 in yesterday's Kokomo loss with a walk, hitting .313. Herzog working quickly. The 0-1 is cued on the ground to first base. Wade Elliott fields, flips to Herzog, who scampers to the bag to put away Dennis. It's a 3-1 put out, flawlessly executed there by Elliott and Herzog. There's one away. Bases empty for TJ Fontaine. Rivets and Jackrabbits playing their first meeting here in Kokomo since 2019, as the 2 teams did not square off at all last season. Lefty against lefty matchup. First pitch to Fontaine. Slow breaking ball. Beautiful pitch taken for a strike 1. Fontaine, tonight's DH, making his Northwoods League debut. Redshirt freshman from San Diego State University. 0-1 from Herzog. Comes back with a fastball, misses low and away, and it's 1-1. Clouds starting to shade over the field here at Kokomo Municipal. There was scattered showers in the area earlier. 1-1 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss, bringing Fontaine to a knee, and it's 1-2. Fontaine really wanted to hit that one, but comes up empty. Taps the outside part of the plate, then the inside. Settles into his open batting stance, stares out at Herzog, and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball yanked. Misses low and outside, and the count is 2-2. Herzog looking much better and much more comfortable than his first start back on June 1st against Kenosha. 2-2 pitch. Slow breaking ball taken on the artificial turf for ball 3. And it's a full count on TJ Fontaine. Fontaine, native of Clovis, California, one of a few Californians. The payoff pitch, fastball misses outside, and it's a 1-out walk issued to Fontaine. Herzog also issued a leadoff walk in the We'll see if he can work around this one as Ben Lavorsi comes to step in the left-handed batter's box. Ben Lavorsi also played for the Jackrabbits in 2019. Senior from Minnesota State Mankato. Was 0 for 4 yesterday with 2 strikeouts. A .286 hitter so far this summer. Was 3 for 6 in these two teams' first 2-game series. The end of last week in Rockford. First pitch. Fastball dots the outside corner, taken for a ball. Probably about 2 balls outside of the strike zone there. Malley couldn't frame it up, and it's 1-0. Fontaine with a small lead. Now it gets a step bigger as Herzog stares at him at first base, being held on by Wade Elliott. And Herzog tosses over to check on Fontaine, back safely without a slide. Quickly gets the ball back, steps on the right side of the rubber, lets his left arm hang as he gets the sign from Max Malley. Now he comes set at the letters, stares at Fontaine. Long pause and now delivers. Fastball misses outside again, and it's 2-0. It's all balancing act, trying not to get too distracted by that runner, but also not letting him get too big of a lead. After Justice Burke walked in the first, he swiped second base. We'll see if Fontaine goes here. 2-0 count to Ben Lavorsi. The kick and the pitch. Fastball chopped foul at the plate, off of Lavorsi. And it's 2-1. Brody Harding, the shortstop, shaded towards second base. Dylan Robertson a little bit further away from the bag at second. Doing a little bit of a dance as he waits for Herzog's 2-1 pitch. Robertson having some fun out there. Now he's ready. Herzog comes set. Another long pause. And time is called. Herzog delivered the pitch anyways. Always good not to just immediately halt your delivery. Pitch doesn't count. Still 2-1. Lavorsi standing at 6 foot, 215 pounds, built like a catcher. Sporting long brown socks in the left-handed batter's box. Lefty on lefty matchup here. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball misses low and away again. The count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Herzog in danger of issuing his second straight walk. Third of the game. As the sky continues to get a little bit darker here at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. Sun behind some clouds. Herzog's ready for the 3-1 pitch. And now he tosses over to check on Fontaine. Back again safely. Mason Melton, the senior from IU Kokomo, waits on deck. Herzog working a lot of pitches early on, 30 so far. Here's his 31st. Swing and a miss, a nice changeup. Forces Lavorsi to swing through it. It was right down the middle, and now the count is full. If Herzog could come back and get him, that would be a big confidence boost for the freshman from Rockford University. Comes set. Stares at Fontaine again. Lavorsi crowds the plate, and now the payoff pitch. Fastball misses outside, and that's ball 4. Second walk of the inning. Issued by Herzog, third of the night. Now there's 2 on, 1 out in the Kokomo bottom half of the second inning. Scoreless ball game between the Rivets and Jackrabbits. And here's Mason Melton, the team leader with 10 RBIs. Interesting trend with the Jackrabbits so far this season. In each of their last 6 games, they've either scored or allowed 10-plus runs, but never both in the same game. Lefty pitcher, right-handed batter, first pitch, slow curveball, waved at and missed for strike 1. Herzog's got some good swing and miss stuff. The velocity isn't super high, won't blow up the radar gun. High 80s, but it's all about how you supplement it. Good enough velocity to be effective as a lefty. 0-1 to Melton. Another slow breaking ball, this time lifted in the air into left field. Shallow, Ziegler on, takes a few steps forward and makes the play above the brim of his cap. Both runners stay where they're at. And there's 2 down now for the 9-batter Ryan Ellis. Ellis looking to come through for the Jackrabbits. Runners on first and second. 0-0 between Rockford and Kokomo. Yesterday, Ellis was 1 for 4 with a stolen base. The freshman from St. Mary's out in California. Did not play in the Rockford series. Currently riding a 4-game hit streak. He watches a curveball outside for ball 1. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup. So Jackrabbits manager Hayden Carter going with 5 lefties against the left-handed starter Jared Herzog. He sets from the right side of the rubber, gives a look at the runners, and comes home. Swinging a foul off the leg of Ellis. He'll take a moment to walk that off. I can't feel too good. Looks like Ellis is all right. Comes back into the circle around home plate. Of course, it is not a dirt circle. It's all artificial turf. He steps back in the left-handed batter's box. Waves the bat around a little bit. Sporting red batting gloves. Choked up on the bat just slightly before the 1-1 pitch. It's on the way. Swung on and poked into left field. In the air again. Ziegler over towards the line and makes the play. Steps in front of the barrier between the berm and left field, and the inning is over. So Jared Herzog weaves in and out of trouble once more, and the Jackrabbits empty with runners on first and second base. After 2 innings, it's the Rivets nothing and the Jackrabbits nothing on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Kokomo. Scoreless ball game between the Rockford Rivets and the Kokomo Jackrabbits. Great Lakes East opponents doing battle. Second series between these two teams this season. They split the first one back in Rockford. Rivets lost the first game 12-7 and bounced back with a 16-2 victory in the second game. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Rockford order, due up against Nick Rispoli, starting with Max Malley, the sophomore from Evansville. The catcher is just 1 for 11 so far in the Northwoods League. Righty against righty. The first pitch swung on and hammered into left, sends Melton back a few steps. He's in front of the track, gets under it, makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out in the top half of the third inning. And the order flips for Dylan Robertson. Malley got into that one. He does have some pop for his size. Malley, not the biggest catcher you'll ever see in your life. Standing at 5'10", 165 pounds, but he gave that one a ride. Nonetheless, goes as an F7 in the scorebook. Here's Dylan Robertson. Left-handed batter steps in, 1-for-1. Singled to start the game, but was caught stealing at second base. First pitch. Takes a sweeping breaking ball for a strike, lower part of the zone, and it's 0-1. Robertson pinch hit in Sunday's game, had a scheduled day off. But it was an interesting situation for a left-handed batter to come in. 0-1. Fastball misses high and away. 1-1. Robertson pinch hit in the 8th inning with runners on first and second base against a lefty three-quarter delivery arm, Bo Bonvillain. 1-1 pitch. Fastball in the turf, check swing by Robertson, and he did not go around, says Reggie Drummer, the third base umpire. But Rivets manager JT Scarra asked Robertson, who was sitting on the bench, he said, "Can you hit this guy?" He said, "Yeah." And then Robertson proceeded to strike out on 3 pitches. 2-1 pitch, tomahawked into right center field, and that one gets down. It gets past Jackson Jarvis, past Hilbrick, who slides and knocks it down, and it's a standing double for Dylan Robertson. The freshman from Iowa Western is 2 for 2, and the Rivets have a runner in scoring position in the top half of the third. Robertson has been seeing the ball so well, and I've been so impressed with his ability to go to all fields. A true line drive hitter that is pretty rare in the game of baseball today. So Tyler Hawkins steps in an RBI opportunity. He's got 6 of them this summer in just 3 games as the sun peeks through the clouds here in Kokomo. The lights have been turned on due to those clouds. Righty against righty. Scoreless ball game in the third. First pitch to Hawkins. Slider taken for a called strike. Hawkins flied out to center field in the first inning. Redshirt freshman from Louisville with crazy power from the right side. Also great speed. Rispoli sets and comes home. Fastball dots the outer half. Taken for a called strike, and it's quickly 0-2. Hawkins has been prone to strikeouts early on this summer, 4 of them. Max effort with every swing. Leans back in the right-handed batter's box just slightly, staring out at Rispoli, and the 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Hawkins is set down on 3 pitches. That's Rispoli's first K of the evening. Now there's 2 down in the top half of the third inning. Rivets nothing, Jackrabbits nothing. And it comes down to Wade Elliott, who grounded out to shortstop in the first. Elliott with 3 RBIs on this young season. Big opportunity for the Edmond, Oklahoma native. Righty against righty. Rispoli sets and delivers the first pitch. Fastball misses high to the Rockford first baseman, and it's 1-0. The wind is blowing out slightly in Kokomo. I would say now more blowing out from right field to left field. It's swirling a little bit. Long pause in the 1-0 to Elliott. Chopped foul down the third base line and snagged with a bare hand by Rivets manager JT Scarra. Nice play by the skipper there. And it's 1-1. Elliott gets his sign, steps back into the box, sporting white cleats and stirrups that look very good with the Rivets road uniforms. Crowding the inner part of the batter's box a little bit, and he swings and misses at a sweeping breaking ball in the turf. 1-2. Elliott steps out of the box, shaking his head a little bit. He knows he shouldn't have swung at that one. Now he steps back in. Dylan Robertson at second base after a 1-out double. Rivets looking to avoid stranding runners in scoring position in the second consecutive inning. Ben Lavorsi calls time, and he wants to talk things over with Nick Rispoli. Lavorsi, the Minnesota native, pats his Yinzer pitcher on the back. Of course, Rispoli, a native of Pittsburgh. quick chat. Rispoli walks off the back of the mound, kicks his shoes around a little bit. Lavorsi heads back into his crouch. Elliott steps back in, almost ready for the 1-2 pitch. Rispoli has had a lot of stressful pitches early in this game. Rivets with 4 hits early in this one. Kokomo with none. Scoreless ball game. Rispoli comes set at the belt. Fires the 1-2. Swung on and fouled straight back. Elliott was right on the fastball. And we'll have another 1-2 pitch. Elliott coming into this game with a .292 batting average. Has been with the Rivets since opening day. Rispoli shakes off the catcher. Now he's got his sign. And delivers another 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, check swing. Did he go? No swing, says Nate Hall at first base. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good take by Wade Elliott. It was a strike to ball breaker from Rispoli on the back door. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rispoli now dealing 44 pitches. His next will be 45. 2-2. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. Snared by Lavorsi. He throws down to first, and Dylan Dennis fields it on a hop to retire Wade Elliott. The Rivets strand a runner in scoring position for the second straight inning. And after 2.5, it's the Rivets nothing, Jackrabbits nothing on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the third inning in Kokomo, scoreless between Rockford and the Jackrabbits. Jared Herzog back out there for a third inning of work. The freshman from Rockford University has issued 3 walks, but he's walked around all of them. 1 strikeout to his name, and he'll face the top of this Jackrabbits order, starting with Raymond Hilbrick, who flied out to left field back in the first inning. Battle between Great Lakes East opponents. Rivets squandering some early opportunities in this one. Herzog winds and deals the first pitch. Breaker in the dirt, taken for ball 1. Handed runners on second and third in the second inning after Blake Mosley was thrown out at the plate. Earlier in that frame, 1-0 pitch. Fastball clobbered into left center field. Sends Ziegler back a few steps in front of the track, reaches above his head, and makes the catch for the first out of the bottom half of the third inning. Another F7 for Hilbrick. Scoreless ball game in Kokomo. And then last half inning for the Rivets. Dylan Robertson knocked a 1-out double, but was stranded on second base. Here's Justice Burke. First pitch. Liner up the middle, falling fast. Hawkins comes on, and that's going to drop. Hawkins fields it. Burke takes a small turnaround first base, and he'll retreat. That's the first hit of the ball game for the Jackrabbits. It's a 1-out base runner. Burke extends his team-leading .282 batting average. Team best slash line. Also a solid on-base percentage of .462 entering this one. Now there's a runner on first base for Chris Santiago, who flied out to right field back in the first inning for the second out. He's hitting .250 so far. First pitch. Fastball catches the outer half for a called strike one. Santiago, the redshirt freshman from St. Mary's in California. Jackrabbits looking to push across the first run of this ball game. A 1 pitch. Ground ball to the left side and through past the diving Jared Cushing at third base. Burke stops at second. Santiago stops at first. It's back-to-back singles for the Jackrabbits in the bottom half of the third inning. A big RBI opportunity for Jackson Jarvis. The redshirt freshman from Columbia State was retired on strikes in the first inning. Max Malley steps out in front of the plate, runs through some signs with the Rockford infield. Double play is in order. Would be an inning ender, 1 out here in the third. Wade Elliott playing in front of the runner at first base. Rest of the infield at double play depth. Cushing even with the bag at third base. And the first pitch to Jarvis. Fastball misses low. For ball one, it's 1-0. Jarvis chased a lot of pitches out of the zone in his first at-bat, but he's got great power as a noise plays over the speaker. It sounded like a very high-pitched noise. A dog whistle gone wrong, maybe. So bad that William Pascal calls time. Herzog steps off the rubber, picks up the rosin bag, and makes his hands a little more grippy. Now he comes set, and we're ready for the 1-0 pitch. It's on the way. Breaking ball taken upstairs. And it's 2-0 on the Franklin, Tennessee native. Jackson Jarvis, the brother of former Jackrabbit Logan Jarvis, and son of Dave Jarvis, the head coach at Belmont. The set and the 2-0 from Herzog. Fastball dots the outer half. Taken for strike one. Nice pitch there from Herzog, working away to the lefty. One of 5 lefty-on-lefty matchups that Herzog has throughout this Jackrabbits order. Herzog sets at the letters and throws the 2-1. Poked foul, out of play down the third base line. The fan with a glove gives chase and comes up with it uncontested. Count is even now at 2-2 on number 29 in the left-handed batter's box. Jarvis with home run power, does not have one this summer, but had 7 this spring for Columbia State at the junior college level. Wouldn't be shocked to see Jarvis get an opportunity at Belmont to play for his dad. Pretty good ball player. 2-2 pitch. Slow breaking ball, fouled off the end of the bat, and we'll do it again. But Jackson's brother Logan played at Belmont and has another year of eligibility. In fact, he played for the Jackrabbits, but now he's playing in the Coastal Plain League. So I suppose he didn't want to play with his little brother this summer. That scenario has happened before, though. Herzog ready to come home with a 2-2. It's on the way. And it's knocked down by Malley in the dirt, taken for ball 3. Herzog in danger of loading the bases with 1 out in the third. Still scoreless, but both teams have had their opportunities early. Jackrabbits with another one here. Jarvis steps out of the batter's box, fiddles with his batting gloves, now taps the plate twice, holds out the bat, and brings it down to his left shoulder. Open batting stance with yellow cleats. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball poked on the ground to shortstop, could be 2. Harding to second for 1. The relay in time to first base. The Rivets turn it 6-4-3, and Herzog gets out of trouble. And we've still got a scoreless ball game in Kokomo going to the 4th inning on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Going to the fourth inning in Kokomo. Nothing ball game between the Rivets and Jackrabbits. Thanks for joining us on the Rockford Rivets radio network. Larry Larson in with you. Rivets will send up 4, 5, 6 in the order, starting with Jared Cushing here in the fourth. The Rivets have stranded runners in scoring position in each of the last 2 innings. Looking to make something happen against the righty Nick Rispoli. First pitch. Fastball grounded sharply down to third base. Santiago gobbles it up and throws across the diamond in time to retire Jared Cushing on 1 pitch to start the fourth inning. Cushing has hit the ball very hard recently, but he's just gotten unlucky. Picked up his first 2 hits of the summer in his first game in a 2-for-4 performance, but now has gone 0 for 13 since. Bases empty, 1 down for Blake Mosley. Scoreless between Rockford and Kokomo. Mosley walked in the second inning and was caught trying to go to home plate. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off to the left side out of play. But Mosley tried to score from first on a Cam McDonald double. And he was tossed out by Ryan Ellis on a relay throw from left field. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Ellis ranges towards the bag. Fields and throws in time to retire Mosley. 2 ground ball outs for Nick Rispoli in the fourth inning. So he's cruising along. Here's Cam McDonald, who had his aforementioned double in the second inning. His first hit of this summer. Cam McDonald, a big fella in the right-handed batter's box, standing at 6'5", 215 pounds. Hit .249 this summer at the University of Illinois, with 3 homers. Watches a tailing breaking ball taken for a strike. McDonald thought about going around. McDonald was the only Rivets batter I saw hit a batting practice home run today, or as Cam would call it, a pump. The set and the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses up and in. McDonald leans out of the way of that one, and it's 1-1. McDonald got off to a rough start in the 2020 campaign before it was called off. At just 149 in 13 games. Hit .288 with the Rivets last summer. The 1-1. High chopper to shortstop. Ellis charges. Fields throws in time to retire McDonald. The Rivets go 5-3, 6-3, and 6-3 in a 1-2-3 frame for the Kokomo right-hander Nick Rispoli. And we're still scoreless after 3.5 on the Rockford Rivets radio network. Rivets nothing, Jackrabbits nothing, going to the bottom half of the fourth inning at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. It's been a pitcher's duel early on, but it hasn't been smooth sailing for either starter. Nick Rispoli working in and out of trouble in the first 2 innings of this one, stranding 3 Rockford runners on, and Herzog has done the same. The left-hander from Rockford University back for a 4th inning of work, starting his work against Dylan Dennis. Lefty against righty, the first pitch. Fastball misses outside. Good spot from Herzog, just a bit outside. And it's 1-0. Herzog kicks some pellets on the turf mound in front of him before stepping on. He winds and deals the 0-1. It's in there for a strike. Excuse me, that was the 1-0 pitch. And now the count is 1-1. Dennis grounded out to first base in the second inning. He's done pretty well for himself so far in Northwoods League play this summer. Batting average over 300. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. Herzog pulled the string on him. Looked like a changeup. Now the count is 1-2. Herzog with just one strikeout. Came against Jackson Jarvis in the first inning. Dennis doesn't choke up on the bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch. High chopper to shortstop. Harding fields at the chest. Loops it over to first base. Elliott with a stretch to retire Dylan Dennis on a 6-3 putout. Brings up TJ Fontaine with none on, one out. Scoreless ball game in Kokomo. Fontaine walked in his first plate appearance and was stranded on second base in the second inning. Sporting long brown socks in the left-handed batter's box. Here's the first pitch. High cheese, waved that and missed. And it's 0-1. Fontaine couldn't resist. That one was well above the letters. Fontaine's a pretty big fella in that left-handed batter's box. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball popped up right in the middle of the infield. Towering, now the shortstop Harding shades the second base side of the bag and puts the squeeze on it for out number 2. 2 quick outs for Jared Herzog, trying to work the same 1-2-3 inning that Nick Rispoli did in the top half of the fourth against the Rivets. Here's Ben Lavorsi trying to spoil that and put on a Kokomo runner for the 4th straight inning to start this game. Herzog quickly back on the rubber. Here's the first pitch. Nice changeup, taking on the outer half for strike 1. Herzog wasting no time. He's ready to go. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball chopped foul behind Lavorsi to the Rivets' third base dugout. Manager JT Scara out to fetch it. And it's 0-2. Herzog working to contact. And sometimes that's what you got to do. Was a strikeout pitcher at the D3 level for Rockford University, but probably has to adjust to the Northwoods League a little bit. 0-2 pitch. Fastball fouled off. We'll do it again. A car alarm sounds over the PA system here. Not an actual car. I'm talking with Troy Tucci, Rockford Rivets outfielder, yesterday about Herzog. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses in the dirt. Taken for ball 1. But Tucci says that Herzog's an intense guy. He can get pretty worked up. And he's hard on himself. And if you were with us during the pregame show, you heard Tucci say that he was also hard on himself, and he saw a lot of Herzog in himself. Breaking ball grounded sharply to second base. Robertson ranges over towards first. Fields throws and makes the play. It's a 1-2-3, 4th inning for Jared Herzog, and we're still scoreless after 4 innings on the Rockford Rivets radio network. Going to the fifth inning at Kokomo Municipal Stadium, scoreless between the Rivets and Jackrabbits. Quick look around the Northwoods League Great Lakes East Division tonight. Other matchups, Lakeshore taking on Kalamazoo at Homer Stryker Field in Michigan. Traverse City taking on Battle Creek at C.O. Brown Stadium. And Madison is at Kenosha. Traverse City leads the division with a 6-2 record, up one game on the 5-3 Kenosha Kingfish. Kalamazoo and Kokomo tied for third with a 4-4 record. And Battle Creek and Rockford tied at the bottom with a 2-5 record, 3.5 games back. Brody Hardy steps in, 7-8-9 in the Rivets order, due up to face Nick Rispoli. Righty against lefty, the first pitch. It's a fastball that misses in the turf, 1-0. Brody Harding switching his uniform number from number 10 to number 5 with the Rivets this summer. 1-0. Fastball misses up and away. 2-0. But Harding started the summer with a number 10 and had to switch it yesterday in Battle Creek to number 5 because of a washing machine mishap. 2-0 pitch. Fastball paints the outer black. Count is 2-1. But the Rivets showed up to C.O. Brown Stadium, and the clubhouse managers came up to Rivets manager J.T. Scara and showed him two Rivets uniforms, which looked like melted chocolate on them. 2-1 pitch. Fastball chopper to second base. Burke moves towards the first base bag, fields it and throws in time to retire Harding. It's a 4-3 put out to start the Rockford fifth. One down, base is empty for Greg Ziegler, and a scoreless ball game between Rockford and Kokomo. But upon further examination, there were holes melted into the Rivets' road gray uniforms, and the brown chocolate-looking substance was hard like plastic. Not entirely sure where that substance would even come from. First pitch to Ziegler. Breaking ball that misses just upstairs. Out over the heart of the plate, and it's 1-0. But Harding had to switch his uniform, as did Rivets starter Bryce Barnett from the previous day. 1-0 pitch, waved that and missed. Another breaker, and it's 1-1. Ziegler's 0 for 1. He grounded out to shortstop in the second inning. Looking for his second base hit in the Northwoods League. Rispoli working quickly and deals the 1-1. Swung on and sent into center field. Sends Hilbrick back, racing, and he makes a running grab over his shoulder. For a moment, it looked like Hilbrick, the center fielder, misjudged that one. First, he started running directly towards left field. Then he started moving back and caught that one in stride for the second out of the fifth inning. Ziegler gave it a ride, but Hilbrick with good speed to track it down. 2 down, nobody on for the 9-batter Max Malley. Rivets and Jackrabbits tied at 0. First pitch. Curveball didn't curve much and misses inside to the catcher. 1-0. Malley kind of crowding the inside line of the right-handed batter's box. Lavorsi sets up low and away, and the pitch is low and away, swung on and missed. Nice breaking ball by Rispoli in his fifth inning of work. Both pitchers have settled in nicely. Rispoli at 57 pitches through 4 2/3. 1-1. Slow grounder to second base. Justice Burke over to field and throws, and it pulls Dennis off the bag, and Malley is safe. Looked like a routine play for Burke, who's moving towards first base, and yanked the throw. Dennis had to jump and leap for it. A bit of a lunge to snag that one. And there's a 2-out base runner for Rockford. First base runner since the third inning. That'll be scored in E4. Here's the top of the order in Dylan Robertson, who's 2 for 2. A single and a double. Rivets looking for a 2-out rally to strike first in this one. First pitch. Fastball called strike on the outer half. That one was about a ball length off the plate. Lavorsi was set up outside, and Rispoli hit his spot, so that probably helped the cause. Malley with a healthy lead off first base. Rispoli not worried about him much. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside, a little further outside than the last pitch. And it's ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike on the freshman from Iowa Western. Robertson is on a temp contract, and his last game with the Rivets is coming up, despite him being top 5 in the league in batting average. 1-1 pitch is popped up behind the plate, foul. Lavorsi reaches up and makes the grab, and Robertson is retired. The Rivets strand Max Malley on first base after he reached on a 2-out error, and it's still Jackrabbits nothing, Rivets nothing. Going to the bottom half of the 5th on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Back at Kokomo Municipal Stadium, Rivets nothing, Jackrabbits nothing in a pitcher's duel, and perhaps even more rare for the Rockford Rivets, a close game. The Rivets have not played a game that has been decided by less than 5 runs so far this season, so we'll see if this close one holds. Bottom half of the 5th for Kokomo, they'll send up Mason Melton, Ryan Ellis, and Raymond Hilbrick. 8-9-1 in the order. Starting with Melton, who's 0 for 1. Leads the team with 10 RBIs, lefty against righty. The first pitch, ground ball up the middle and through for a leadoff single. Melton takes a big turn around first base, retreats back to the bag. And there's a runner on for Ryan Ellis. Mason Melton started the season red hot. The senior from IU Kokomo hit for the cycle on June 3rd against Battle Creek, went 5 for 5. But after that single, he's now just 2 for 15 after that cycle. It was 0 for 9 versus Rockford in their 2-game series back in Illinois. Perhaps getting it going here. Lefty against lefty. First pitch to Ellis, squares to bunt, and he pops it up, and Malley can't get to it in time behind the plate. The Rockford catcher knew it was in the air, turned around and couldn't find it. So new life for Ryan Ellis, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to left field. And in a game like this, I don't mind the bunt strategy all that much. Top of the order, due up on deck. Perhaps not surprising. Jared Cushing in past the bag at third base now. Long pause before the 0-1. It's on the way. Squares again, and he pops it foul. It's 0-2. So now Ellis is likely going to have to swing away. Ellis, the freshman from St. Mary's, native of Peoria, Arizona. further away than Peoria, Illinois. Herzog sets, and time is called before the 0-2 pitch. Herzog went and tossed anyway. Second time that's happened tonight. Herzog slowing his rhythm and speeding up his rhythm, usually slowing it down, working from the stretch with runners on. He gets the ball back, and here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball grounded on the ground to second. Robertson goes to second for one, and they call him safe at second. Reggie Drummer says that Mason Melton is safe at second after the Rockford shortstop Harding wasn't on the bag. So Robertson had to move quick to throw that to Harding, who thought he touched the bag, threw on to first for the relay, which was also not in time. And now JT Scara is going to come out of the Rivets dugout as the Jackrabbits are threatening. 2 on, no out in a scoreless ball game in the bottom half of the fifth. Thought maybe that JT would come out of the dugout to discuss the call civilly with Reggie Drummer, the umpire who made that call, but he meets on the mound with the entire Rockford infield, gloves over mouths, and the whole 9 yards. It's a quick one. Scara now heads back to the Rivets dugout. And the top of the order comes up in Raymond Hilbrick. That'll be scored a fielder's choice. Ellis reaches on that. Melton on second, Ellis on first. And Hilbrick steps up 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to left field. Jackrabbits looking for the first run of the ball game. Corners in for Rockford. First pitch. Swing and a foul on the ground. Short of the Rivets dugout up the first base line. 0-1. Important for Herzog to get out in front of batters. That's one thing he did not do well in his first start. But he has certainly bounced back extremely well, looking a lot more comfortable here in Kokomo than he was in his Northwoods League debut last week. Herzog comes home. Fastball catches the outer half to the left-handed Hilbrick. It's 0-2. Crowd didn't like that call whatsoever. They're chirping about it below us. Not going to change the call from William Pascal behind the plate. Herzog working from the stretch, has his sign. Sets at the belt. Kicks and delivers the 0-2. Breaking ball pulled past first base into right field. Cam McDonald up with it, and he's not going to throw it, and Mason Melton comes home to score. It's an RBI single for Raymond Hilbrick, and the Jackrabbits strike first in the bottom of the fifth inning. It's 1-0. Nice piece of hitting by Hilbrick, pulling it through the 3-4 hole, picking up his 7th RBI of the young season. Rivets not out of the woods yet. Still 2 on, no out in the bottom of the fifth. And here's Justice Burke, the Jackrabbits team leader in all hitting categories. Ryan Ellis on second base after the single. First pitch to Burke. He squares around to bunt and bunts it foul straight back. Jackrabbits have tried to lay down a sack here a few times in this fifth inning, but it has not worked real well. So I'm surprised not to see Burke swing away. Redshirt junior from Embry-Riddle has been real good so far for the Jackrabbits. Open batting stance in the right-handed batter's box. In the 0-1, he squares around to bunt again. It's popped up, and Wade Elliott charges in to make the grab. That's the first out of the bottom of the fifth inning. And that's where bunting might not be the two-batter. With 2 on, no out, why not let him swing it away? Chances are he'll put it in play. But no less, Burke is retired. Now there's 1 down, still 2 on for Chris Santiago, who's 1 for 2. Herzog sets and delivers the first pitch to the right-handed batter. Fastball misses outside. Malley's going to throw down to second, and the throw is not in time. Brody Harding, the shortstop, thought that Ellis came off the bag on his slide. He did not, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Santiago singled his last time up, back in the 3rd inning. Redshirt freshman from St. Mary's looking for RBI number 5 of the summer. 0-1, swung on and belted way down the left field line, hooking foul. That one had home run distance, but Santiago was way out in front, and it's 1-1. It's turned out to be a beautiful evening for baseball in the crossroads of America. Sun is shining, shadows creeping towards the mound from the third base side of the field. 1-1 pitch, runner goes down to third base, throw is there, and the tag is not in time. It's a double steal, so Ellis swipes third base, and Hilbrick moves up to second. The count is 2-1. And now we've got some sort of discussion between the umpires, and they're going to send the runners back. Reggie Drummer first signaled that Ellis needed to head back to second base, and Hilbrick needed to head back to first. And frankly, I have no idea what that call is about. And now Reggie Drummer is going to talk it over with Jared Herzog, the Rockford arm. I don't think Jared completely understands either. Perhaps time was called, and now Reggie's going to call time. And they waved off the pitch. So the count is 1-1. So perhaps time was called before that play. Now Reggie Drummer is going to call time and bring all the umpires together. And Drummer is a favorite of the Rivets players. The Rivets have seen this umpiring crew now 3 series. And Reggie likes to chat up players. Rivets were talking to him yesterday during the team's rain delay in Battle Creek. The umpires have broken up their meeting, and now they're going to signal the count is indeed 2 balls and 1 strike. So I'm not even sure what that call was to cancel out the stolen bases. I think the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. I guess we'll find out. Here's the pitch, misses outside. And presumably the count is 3 balls and 1 strike now. William Pascal, the home plate umpire, signals that one. Jackrabbits with the runner on first and second, 1 out. Bottom half of the 5th, 1 run already in. Jackrabbits up 1-0. The set and the 3-1 pitch. Fastball hammered into left field. Sends Ziegler back, backpedals at the track, reaches up and makes the play. That one sounded like trouble off the bat. Santiago gave it a ride, but it's the second out of the inning. A sigh of relief for the Rockford left-hander, Jared Herzog, perhaps. Looking to get out of this, only surrendering 1 run. Jarvis steps up 0 for 2. A swinging strikeout in the first with the runner on second base. And then Jarvis grounded into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play in the third with 2 runners on. He's looking to avoid stranding more runners here. Lefty on lefty, the first pitch. Fastball low and outside, ball 1. Jared Herzog, through 4 2/3, has dealt 75 pitches, allowed 4 hits and just the 1 earned run, 3 walks to 1 strikeout. But he's done a nice job. Sets at the letters and comes home. Yanked a fastball, knocked down by Malley. Didn't catch it cleanly, but it doesn't matter. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. Jarvis without a home run, but he's got big-time power. We talked about that earlier. 7 home runs this spring. In fact, one of them was a walk-off grand slam in a run rule game. 2-0 pitch. Misses in the dirt. Malley throws down to second to check on the runner. And Ellis is back safely. Ryan Ellis on second base. Raymond Hilbrick on first after an RBI single that brought home Mason Melton. Only run of the ball game thus far. But Jarvis's walk-off home run, not every day that you see a walk-off home run in a run rule game. Usually a little bit of a closer game. 3-0 pitch. Cued on the ground up the third base line. Fair. Cushing fields and throws over to first. Elliott jumps and lands on the bag to retire Jackson Jarvis. Bit of a scary play for the Rockford Rivets, but they get out of trouble as Jared Herzog only allows one run in the bottom half of the Kokomo fifth. But the Jackrabbits pull ahead on an RBI single by Raymond Hilbrick, our new score. Kokomo 1, Rockford nothing, going to the sixth on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Back in Kokomo with the Rivets trailing the Jackrabbits by a score of 1-0. In case you're just joining us, the Jackrabbits pushing across their lone run in the bottom half of the fifth on an RBI single by Raymond Hilbrick. New arm in for the Jackrabbits. It's Brock Begesha, the right-hander from Dayton. First pitch to Tyler Hawkins, the two-batter. Sails over his head as he ducks out of the way, and it's 1-0. Hawkins is 0 for 2. Back-to-back Dayton hurlers for Kokomo after Nick Rispoli started the game with 5 scoreless innings. A nice outing for the freshman from Pittsburgh. The wind and the 1-0. Fastball swung on and missed. Nice comeback pitch by Begesha, and it's 1-1. Brock has seen this Rivet squad before. He pitched 1 scoreless inning. Fastball misses upstairs, and it's 2-1. In fact, it was far from scoreless. Excuse me, my mistake. Begesha pitched 1 inning, surrendered 4 earned runs, 5 total, on 2 hits and 3 walks. 2-1 to Hawkins. Big hack and a miss. Comes up empty. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Begesha working quickly, also a hard thrower, but all about command. He enters this one with an ERA of 12. 2-2 pitch. Fastball right down the middle. Taken for a called strike 3. That's Hawkins' second strikeout of the evening. And there's 1 down, nobody on for Wade Elliott. Top half of the 6th. Rivets down 1-0. First strikeout for Begesha, and his first batter faced. Elliott steps up 0 for 2. First pitch. Fastball just misses upstairs. And it's 1-0. Begesha, the native of Dyer, Indiana, deals the 0-1, 1-0, and it swung on and missed. Back even now at 1 apiece. Elliott, a .292 hitter in this one, 1-1. Slider on the artificial turf, taken for ball 1. Elliott out in front, 2-1. Rivets need base runners. They've stranded 4 in this one. 2-1 pitch. Jam shot over the middle, and that one's going to fall into center field for a 1-out single for Wade Elliott. Vagesha jammed him. Fastball in on the hands. Elliott put a good swing on it, and it fell over the shortstop Ryan Ellis's head. Rivets are looking to get something going in the top half of the 6th, trailing 1-0. Here's Jared Cushing, who's 0 for 2. 2 ground outs. He's hit the ball hard a little bit. Opens up his batting stance and leans back. Righty against righty in the first pitch. Fastball misses low near the shoe tops of Cushing. And it's 1-0 on the redshirt freshman from Xavier. Cushing broke his finger playing for Xavier this spring. Didn't take time off from it, though. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to the left side, fielded by Santiago. On to second for 1. The relay throw to first, picked off the turf by Dylan Dennis. And the Jackrabbits go around the horn. 5-4-3, twin killing to end the Rockford 6th inning. So the Rivets can't do anything with a Wade Elliott single, and they still trail 1-0 on the Rockford Rivets radio network. Welcome back to Kokomo. Bottom half of the 6th inning with the Jackrabbits on top of the Rivets 1-0. Quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard around the Northwoods League. Kalamazoo trailing Lakeshore 6-4 in Michigan. Battle Creek on top of Traverse City in a first place, last place matchup. 6-3. Fond du Lac on top of Wisconsin Rapids 5-1. Madison beating Kenosha 2-1 in the 4th inning. And Green Bay trailing the Wisconsin Woodchucks 4-0 in the bottom of the 2nd at Athletic Park. Jared Herzog, Rockford's lefty starter, back out for a 6th inning of work, facing Dylan Dennis to start the inning. The first pitch is a curveball that misses outside. Dennis, the 5-hitter, is 0 for 2. Dennis, Fontaine, and Lavorsi due up in the Jackrabbits 6th. The wind and the 1-0. Grounded sharply to shortstop. Harding fields and throws, and it's bounced, and Elliott picks it off the turf for out number 1. Harding fielded that one quickly and threw very fast to first base, but the throw is a bit of a looper. Elliott had to stretch, but he made the play. And it's another 6-3 put out against Dylan Dennis to start the 6th inning. Jackrabbits on top of the Rivets, 1-0. One down, bases empty for TJ Fontaine. Lefty against lefty, and the first pitch is on the way. Fastball called strike on the inner half. Looked like a fastball from Herzog. Fontaine reached on a walk in the 2nd and popped out to shortstop in the 4th. Back to work, 0-1. Bender in there for a strike, and Fontaine leans and looks at the home plate umpire, William Pascal, as if to say, really? That was a strike? And it's 0-2. Herzog comes back. Another breaking ball, and Fontaine rips it foul down the first base side. We'll have another 0-2. The sun is shining brightly at 8:14 p.m. Eastern Time. The lights are on at Kokomo Municipal. And the 0-2 pitch, laced into center field, in the air, and it hangs up for Tyler Hawkins, who makes the grab. And there's 2 down in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Brings up Ben Lavorsi with the bases empty. Kokomo on top of Rockford 1-0. Lavorsi is 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out. Herzog has done a masterful job pitching to weak contact after he was mainly a strikeout guy this spring at Rockford University, averaging 10.7 strikeouts per 9 innings. But he's adapted his game in the Northwoods League. That's what it's all about. First pitch. Fastball misses low and away to the Kokomo catcher. 1-0. Herzog at 85 pitches now. If he can get through 6, I think Rivets manager JT Scarrow will be very happy. 1-0. Pulled on the ground to second base. Robertson charges, throws in time to retire Ben Lavorsi. It's a 1-2-3 6th inning for Jared Herzog to keep the Jackrabbits at a 1-0 advantage over the Rivets after 6 on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Headed to the 7th inning in Kokomo. Rivets down 1-0, and in case you're just joining us, Rockford has been shut down by 2 University of Dayton arms. First, Nick Rispoli, who hurled 5 shutout innings, and now Brock Begesha, who worked a minimum 6th inning. First pitch to Blake Mosley, taken for strike 1. Fastball on the outer half. Mosley, the 5 batter in the Rivets order, walked in the 2nd and was caught trying to go to home on a double by Cam McDonald. 0-1, swung on and missed. Foul tip into the glove of Ben Lavorsi, and it's 0-2. Defensive substitution between innings for Kokomo. 0-2, hard fastball misses low and away, taken for ball 1. Raymond Hilbrick, the center fielder, moves over to right field, and Camden Vasquez into the game to play center. 1-2, misses high and away. The count is 2-2. So Jackson Jarvis comes out of the game. I'm presuming that Vasquez will bat in the 4th spot for Jarvis. The wind and the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball coming a little too far in on Mosley in the left-handed batter's box, and the count is full. Begesha working very quickly, shakes off his catcher. Now winds and fires the payoff pitch. Swung on and belted. Deep right field. Sends Hilbrick back at the track, and he watches it go. A long home run over the right field wall for the sophomore. Transferring from Missouri State, Blake Mosley has tied this game at 1. This Kokomo crowd is rendered silent. An absolute blast off of Brock Begesha. And we are tied. It's the Rivets' first home run of the season. Base is empty now for Cam McDonald. First pitch. Fastball swung on and popped up off to the right side, out of play. We'll see if that gets the Rivets dugout going. I don't know how it couldn't. That was crushed. 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses low and away. You can tell Begesha's pitching with a little bit of anger out there. McDonald is 1 for 2. He doubled in the second and was stranded there. 1-1 pitch. Begesha calms down a little bit. Finds the zone with a fastball, and the count is 1-2. He's a hard thrower, that's for sure, is Begesha. He winds and fires. And he gets McDonald swinging. Drop third strike, throw down to first. In time to retire the Rockford right fielder. And that's the first out of the 7th inning. Rivets and Jackrabbits tied at 1. Thanks to a solo shot by Blake Mosley. His 4th RBI of the campaign. That K is Begesha's 2nd. Brings up Brody Harding with 1 away. Righty against left-handed batter. First pitch. Fastball misses high to the Rockford shortstop. 1 ball and no strikes. Harding's 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. 1-0. Fastball in there for a strike. Perhaps a changeup. Cut in on the left-handed batter, and it's 1-1. Begesha from the windup and the 1-1 pitch. He lost his grip on a bender. It's 2-1. Final line on Nick Rispoli, the starter for Kokomo. 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. He did a good job of pitching to contact. 2-1 misses above the letters to Harding. It's a curveball that didn't drop all that much, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike on the sophomore from the University of Illinois. Open batting stance, stares out at Begesha. The 3-1. Hard fastball popped up. Left field side, in play. Santiago and foul ground, reaches over and makes the grab. Harding is retired for out number 2. Rivets and Jackrabbits tied at 1 in the top half of the 7th. Here's Greg Ziegler with nobody on. We'll see if Ziegler can follow the lead of his former Missouri State teammate, Blake Mosley, who started the top half of this inning with a mammoth blast over the right field fence. Ziegler 0 for 2, gave the ball a ride in his last time up. Watches a curveball inside, leans out of the way of that one. Ziegler flied out to center. Sent the center fielder Hilbrick back. Hilbrick now playing right field. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses high and away. I talked to Ziegler before the game in the batting cage. He said, swing feels good, it's there. Just got to settle in a little bit. 2-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike. Fastball that just caught the outer part of the zone. Ziegler chatting about it with home plate umpire William Pascal. Ziegler back in now. 2-1. Misses outside. Shadows now have crept beyond the mound, now towards the first base bag. Also stretching from the left field line to the right field wall. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and the count is full. Begesha took something off there, pulled the string on the Rockford left fielder. Steps out, steps back in, adjusts his open batting stance, holds the hands high above his helmet, and watches called strike 3 on the payoff pitch. Ziegler didn't like the call, still chatting about it with William Pascal. And now he'll head back to the first base dugout. But the Rivets tie the game at 1 on a solo moonshot by Blake Mosley to right field. And the new score is Rivets 1, Jackrabbits 1, going to the bottom half of the 7th in Kokomo. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Kokomo Municipal Stadium in Kokomo, Indiana. Tie ball game between the Rivets and Jackrabbits going to the bottom half of the seventh, and a new pitcher is in the ball game for Rivets manager JT Scare. It's the right-hander from University of Illinois Springfield, Cade Turner. He's made 2 appearances, pitched 4 innings, 3 of which came on June 1st against Kenosha, where he surrendered 2 earned runs, but he bounced back on the 5th against these Jackrabbits, hurling a scoreless inning. He'll face Mason Melton, and the first pitch is a curveball, sweeping from the inner half to the outer half, taken for a called strike. Melton, Ellis, and Hilbrick due up in the bottom of the 7th. Melton the 8 batter, and the next pitch misses low and away. Turner goes back to the curveball. Final line on Jared Herzog, a phenomenal start by the freshman. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, it was earned, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. 1-1, big hack and a miss by Melton. The count is 1-2. Melton singled and scored the Jackrabbits' only run in the bottom of the 5th inning, coming around on an RBI single by Raymond Hilbrick. Turner from the stretch, sets at the belt, takes a breath, and here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Just the 2nd strikeout today by the Rivets pitching staff. And it belongs to Cade Turner. 1 out, bottom 7. Here's Ryan Ellis with the bases empty. Rivets and Rabbits tied at 1. Turner with good strikeout stuff. He's a hard thrower. Transferring from UIS, so looking for a new collegiate home. Working against the lefty Ellis. Here's the first pitch. Fastball misses outside. Again, no radar gun at our disposal. There is a pitch speed column on the scoreboard, but it is not in use. 1-0 pitch. Slider misses down and away, and it's 2-0. But being around the game enough, you can kind of guess the velocity. So I'd guess that Turner's sitting high 80s with the fastball. Setson comes home with the 2-0. Swing and flared into shallow left, and Ziegler comes running on and makes the grab chest high for out number 2. As a shout of encouragement comes in from a Kokomo fan. That's all right, get him next time. Nice and wholesome. 2 down, brings up the top of the order, and Raymond Hilbrick. Base is empty for the leadoff man. 1 for 3, singled his last time up. It was of the RBI variety. First pitch to him. Fastball catches the outer half to the left-handed batter. 0-1. Kokomo and Rockford tied at 1. Great Lakes East opponents doing battle. Cade Turner's 0-1 pitch. Fastball catches the same spot in the outer half of the zone. 0-2. Turner might as well just settle there on the outer half. Build a house, because that's a great spot. 0-2. Fastball swung on and missed. It's a 1-2-3 bottom half of the 7th inning for Rockford reliever Cade Turner, and the score holds. Rivets 1, Jackrabbits 1. Going to the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Eighth inning in Kokomo, and boy, do we have a good one. It's a 1-1 tie between the Rockford Rivets and the Kokomo Jackrabbits, a battle between Great Lakes East rivals. Rockford with a record of 2-5, Kokomo at an even 4-4. Rockford rained out yesterday in Battle Creek, looking to pull even on this road trip. First pitch to Max Malley to start the eighth is a bunt, hard down the third base line. Santiago fields and throws on the run in time to get the Rockford catcher. Good idea from Malley, but he's retired on one pitch. Score at 5-3. And Brock Begesha gets off to an efficient start to this eighth inning. Begesha, the right-hander from Dayton, still out there. Surrendered the Rivets' only run in this one, a solo home run to Blake Mosley in the seventh inning. Here's the top of the order, and Dylan Robertson. Robertson is 2 for 3. First pitch nearly hits him, and it did. Fastball ran inside. Robertson gallops on his way to first base. Kind of a skip on his way. And he's aboard. 1 out in the eighth. Rivets looking to take the lead. Screws have lost 5 of their last 6 games. Including a 4-game losing streak, which the Rivets snapped with a win over these Jackrabbits last week. First pitch, Hawkins looks to square around on a bunt and pulls back. The appeal down to the first base umpire, Nate Hall, and he says he did indeed pull back. Breaking ball outside the zone for ball 1. Hawkins is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Righty against righty. Doesn't square this time. Almost goes around on a curveball outside, and he held up again. Crowd doesn't like that, but it's 2-0. Hawkins with very good strength in the right-handed batter's box. It is hard to check up a swing like that. The set and the 2-0 from Begesha. Hawkins squares around to bunt, pulls back on a fastball way outside. Lavorsi knocks it down. Robertson stays where he is. The count is 3-0, and now Lavorsi wants to talk things over with Begesha. There's action in both bullpens. Taking a look at Kokomo's, there's a lefty getting loose. And that lefty is Connor Lynn, the freshman out of Cincinnati. And for the Rivets, it's a right-hander. It's Tucker Shalley, the freshman from the University of Illinois, who worked a scoreless inning in his only appearance earlier this year. Rivets and Rabbits tied at 1. Top half of the eighth. Rivets with a runner on first base. The meeting is over on the mound. Begesha comes back with a 3-0. Fastball dots the inside corner. Taken for strike 1. Hawkins with 6 RBIs this season. Leads the team in slugging percentage. It's 1 for 4 on Sunday. Looking to make something happen here. 3-1 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. The count is full. 3-2 on the redshirt freshman from Louisville. Brock Begesha looking for strikeout number 3. He comes set at the belt. Kicks and deals. Fastball in the dirt, ball 4. 2 on, 1 out for the 3-batter Wade Elliott. A huge opportunity for the Rockford Rivets late in this one. It's the first close game that the Rivets have been in some time in the late stages. The same can be said for Kokomo, as they have played blowouts in their last 6 games, not all of them going their way, of course. And now Hayden Carter is out of the third base dugout and pulls the string on Brock Begesha. And here comes Connor Lynn. The freshman left-hander out of Cincinnati will step aside and come back in a few moments to tell you more about the new pitcher for Kokomo. Rivets threatening, runners on first and second, 1 out in the top half of the eighth. Don't go anywhere on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Back at Kokomo Municipal Stadium, a pitching change for Rabbits manager Hayden Carter as he calls upon Connor Lynn, the left-handed relief hurler from the University of Cincinnati, as the Rivets are threatening in a 1-1 ball game. They've got runners on first and second. Dylan Robertson on second base after a hit by pitch, and Tyler Hawkins on first after a walk, as Wade Elliott, the right-handed hitter, Rivets first baseman, sophomore headed to Louisiana Tech, jumps in the right-handed batter's box. He's 1 for 3 today. Connor Lynn had 6 appearances and 9 2/3 innings, surrendered 13 earned runs this spring for Cincinnati. Lefty against right-handed batter. First pitch to Elliott. Fastball paints the outer black. 0-1. Elliott singled his last time in the 6th. A base hit here could untie it. Lynn sets at the belt and fires the 0-1. Fastball in the same spot, a little bit lower. It's enough for it to be a ball, 1-1. Robertson with good speed on second base. Hawkins perhaps the fastest runner on the team on first base. Lynn ready for the 1-1. It's on the way. Liner up the middle, through for a base hit. Robertson had to wait up. He's going to get the stop sign at third base, but the line keeps on moving. They're loaded with 1 out for the Rivets in the top half of the 8th for Jared Cushing. That was a screamer off the bat of Elliott. Robertson couldn't move too quickly towards third base as Ellis, the shortstop, reached out to try and snare it. But now there are Rivets on every station. Jared Cushing steps up 0 for 3. You could say he's due. He grounded into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play in the 6th, his last time up. All ground ball outs for the redshirt freshman from Xavier. First pitch. Fastball misses low and away. We talked earlier about how Jared Cushing faced Nick Rispoli in a matchup between Xavier and Dayton earlier this year. Well, Connor Lynn squared off against Jared Cushing in a Xavier-Cincinnati game. 1-0 pitch. Fastball down the middle, but on the turf again, blocked by Lavorsi, and it's 2-0. This time, the Kokomo arm was a little more successful against the future Rivet. Forced Cushing into a ground out on March 20th. 2-0 pitch. Fastball low again. Knocked down by Lavorsi, and the count is 3-0. The Rivets are a ball away from taking the lead. Wade Elliott on first. Tyler Hawkins on second. Robertson on third. 1-1 ball game. Top half of the 8th. Cushing stares out at Lynn. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Open batting stance for Jared. Here's the 3-0. Fastball misses low, and the Rivets take the lead. It's 2-1. Dylan Robertson comes home from third base. Hawkins moves up to third, Elliott to second. And here's Blake Mosley, who gave the Rivets the lead with a mammoth solo home run, or tied this game up at 1, with a mammoth solo home run in the 7th inning. Wouldn't it be exciting if he could send another one out of here? Lefty on lefty, the first pitch. Fastball down the middle, taken for a called strike. Of course, if you're Mosley, you can't be thinking grand slam here. You got to think, put the ball in play. If you're Lynn, you got to stay low in the zone. 0-1. Liner right to the second baseman, Burke, who makes the catch. It was a soft liner. Looked for a moment like Burke was going to have to leap. He didn't, and he caught it chest high. 2 down, top half of the 8th. Bases still loaded for Cam McDonald with the Rivets out in front by a score of 2-1. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. McDonald is 1 for 3. The first pitch bounced in there. Nice stop by Lavorsi. He's been working hard this inning. The senior from Minnesota State Mankato has had to knock down a lot of pitches from Lynn. The line on Brock Begesha is not final. He went 2 1/3, surrendering 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. 1-0. slapped into right field, tailing foul into a playground area, which is protected by a net here in Kokomo. Count back even at 1-1. McDonald does not have an RBI this season. The redshirt sophomore played for the Fighting Illini this spring. Had plenty of RBIs there. The 1-1. Fastball high and away to the 6'5 McDonald, 2-1. In fact, McDonald had 27 runs batted in Big Ten play. All 44 games for McDonald were in Big Ten activity. 2-1, wave and a miss. High fastball from Lynn, a bit outside the zone. The count is 2-2. Rivets looking for insurance. 1 run already in here in the 8th. Screws on top, 2-1. Connor Lynn sets at the belt, kicks and deals. Fastball outside, tailed way too far in the left-handed batter's box, and the count is full. Lynn in danger of walking in his second run of the inning. Robertson came home to score after Jared Cushing brought him home on a walk. Payoff pitch to Cam McDonald. It's on the way. Ground ball to third base. Santiago fields and throws across the diamond in time to beat Cam McDonald. Rivets leave the bases loaded, but they take the lead on an RBI walk by Jared Cushing. Our new score, Rockford 2, Kokomo 1, going to the bottom half of the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Rockford 2, Kokomo 1, going to the bottom half of the 8th at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. Rivets with a record of 2-5. They've lost 5 of 6. In good position here. Getting late in this one, the Rivets have pushed across both of their runs in the late stages. One in the 7th on a Blake Mosley solo shot, and then a Jared Cushing bases loaded walk in the 8th. Tucker Shalley, the right-hander from the University of Illinois, is on in relief. Rivets' second relief pitcher of the day. Justice Burke, the 2-batter, up for Kokomo. First pitch. Fastball misses outside. Shalley has a very, very hard fastball in the low to mid-90s. Working from the stretch permanently. Sets at the chest. Comes home. Swung on and fouled down the first base side. It was a line drive that sank quickly, and the count is 1-1. Burke was tardy on the fastball there. He's 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and a pop out. Shalley comes set. Long pause and the 1-1 pitch. Fastball chopped down the third base line, foul. Fielded by Cushing, who tosses it back to his pitcher. The count is 1-2. Shalley has tossed one scoreless inning. It came against these Jackrabbits in the Rivets' 12-7 loss on June 4th at home. Shalley surrendered one hit and struck out two. He's definitely got very good strikeout stuff. We get a pause in the action here as Burke goes back to the third base dugout to rub up his bat with pine tar. Perhaps a little bit of rosin in there. Needs a little bit more before the 1-2 pitch. Now he strolls back to home plate. You can never have too much. Seems like pine tar is everywhere in baseball, even on the baseballs themselves, suspiciously. A lot of discussion on that in Major League Baseball lately. Shalley comes set. Kicks and fires the 1-2 pitch, and he blows Justice Burke away. Swinging strikeout for the first out of the bottom of the 8th inning. He couldn't catch up to the high cheese. And there's one down. Rivets on top of the Jackrabbits, 2-1. Base is empty now for Chris Santiago. Third strikeout of the season for Shalley. Righty against righty here. Santiago is 1 for 3. First pitch. Fastball paints the black on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Santiago, the redshirt freshman from St. Mary's, has 4 RBIs, no homers. Kick in the 0-1. Curveball popped up to the first base side. Foul. Wade Elliott, the first baseman in front of the Rivets dugout, makes the play, and there's 2 down. That foul ball kept tailing and tailing closer to the dugout, and now Elliott runs up the line to the dugout and high-fives every single one of his teammates, who are all on the top step. Rivets dugout is into this one. Camden Vasquez steps in. First pitch. Taken low. Vasquez came in as a defensive substitution for Jackson Jarvis a few innings ago. Getting his first at-bat against the Rivets. Left-handed batter. 1-0. Fastball up high. Check swing. Appeal down to third base, and Reggie Drummer says that Vasquez did not go around. Vasquez, the freshman from the University of San Diego. Out ahead 2-0. And the next pitch is a fastball that finds the zone as 2-1. A lot of West Coast natives on this Jackrabbit squad. A lot of California hometowns, a few Arizonas in there, but especially California's. Shalley from the stretch delivers the 2-1. Blows the fastball by Vasquez. And it's 2-2. He steps back in, taps the plate a few times, holds the bat out at Shalley. He comes set with orange tennis shoes. Lifts his leg and fires the 2-2. Chopper towards second base. Robertson fields on the backhand, throws to first base, and they got him by a step. It was a bang-bang play at first base, but the throw was just in time to beat a chugging Vasquez. And Tucker Shalley keeps the Rockford Rivets lead intact with a 1-2-3 8th inning. We're going to the top half of the 9th with the Rivets in front 2-1. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Rivets on top of the Kokomo Jackrabbits by a score of 2-1 as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Rivets looking for some insurance. They'll send up the lower third. Brody Harding, Greg Ziegler, and Max Malley square off against a new arm for Kokomo manager Hayden Carter and company. It's Cooper Omens. Omens, the sophomore from Nova Southeastern, native of Florida, got lit up by the Rivets in his last appearance on June 4th. Rivets scored a 4-run inning off of Omens. He went just 2/3 in that frame, allowed 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. First pitch to Brody Harding, squares around to bunt, pulls back, but takes a strike. Good fastball there from Omens on the outer half, and it's 0-1. Harding singled in the second, reached second on the throw since he's 0 for 2. Omens winds and deals. Two-seam fastball fouled straight back to the screen, and it's quickly 0-2. If the Jackrabbits want any chance to win, of course, Omens needs to hold the Rivets right where they are. No action in the Screws bullpen. Looks like Tucker Shalley's going to take the 9th, and why not? Worked a scoreless 8th inning. Long pause from Omens. Kicks in, delivers the 0-2. Two-seam fastball just misses the outside corner. Harding knew it was close. Swept his back foot up near the front of the box, leaning out as if to say, ooh, that was a close one. Now he steps back in. Omens rocks and fires. Cue shot down the third base line. Santiago gloves, throws in time. A charging play by Santiago. It was a tough one. And he makes it for the first out of the inning. Rivets on top of Kokomo by a score of 2-1. Rivets have lost 5 of 6, trying to get off the schneid here. They lost their last game, 6-1 at Battle Creek on Sunday before they were rained out yesterday. Here's Greg Ziegler, 0 for 3, made the 3rd out of the 7th inning his last time up. Lefty against right-handed batter, and Omens pours in a fastball. Lights starting to take effect at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. 8:56 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone. Still lots of sunlight, though. 0-1. A breaking ball in on the hands, and Ziegler swung right through it. Quickly 0-2. Max Malley waits on deck. He's 0 for 3, reached on an error. Now there's bullpen action for the Rivets. Chan Yao Ming getting loose. 0-1. 0-2 is a slider that misses high to Ziegler. And it's 1-2. Omens wasting no time, and this game has wasted no time at all. It's been quick. Omens shakes off Lavorsi, and now comes home with a 1-2. Fastball tails a little bit too far outside. The count is back even at 2-2. Ziegler, a high school teammate of Jared Cushing, Rivets' third baseman. 2-2. Fastball misses outside, and the count is full. It's June 8th, and let me tell you, this day is a full day in this date in baseball history. And go figure, the Rivets get a close game, so I don't need to go to that backup material, but I do want to mention a few things. 3-2, down the middle, taken for a called strike 3. Ziegler thought it was inside. He said something to the home plate umpire, William Pascal. That's the 2nd out of the inning. First K for Omens comes down to Max Malley. But a very unique day in baseball history. In 1920, after a lengthy argument in a Reds game, first pitch to Max Malley. Fastball catches the outer half for a called strike 1. Cincinnati center fielder Ed Roush, growing bored after several minutes of debate, decides to nap on the outfield grass. The 0-1 misses inside to Malley, and it's 1-1. So Ed Roush took a nap in center field in the middle of the game and then got ejected for delay of game when he wouldn't wake up. Omens working from the windup and fires the 1-1 pitch right down the middle. Malley watches it for strike 2. That is wild. I can't believe that somebody actually took a nap in the middle of a Major League Baseball game. The kick and the 1-2 swung on and missed. And Omens sets down the lower third of the Rockford order in the top half of the 9th. We're going to the bottom half. Buckle those seatbelts. Rivets on top of the Jackrabbits by a score of 2-1. We'll see who comes in from the Rockford bullpen. Looks like it's going to be closer Chan Yao Ming, We'll be right back to tell you about them on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Kokomo, and it's closing time for the Rockford Rivets on top of the Jackrabbits by a score of 2-1, going to the bottom of the ninth. And manager JT Scara hands the ball to Chan Yao Ming, the right-handed closer, native of Taiwan, attends Canaan College overseas, came to the U.S. just to play for the Rockford Rivets in the Northwoods League this summer. His last appearance, he got roughed up in Traverse City. Went an inning, allowed 7 earned runs, but before that he worked a scoreless inning against the Kenosha Kingfish on June 1st. He'll square off against 5, 6, 7 in the Jackrabbits order, starting with Dylan Dennis, who's 0 for 3. Righty against righty, and the first pitch from Yao Ming swung on and missed. Ming with a three-quarters style delivery. A relaxed delivery, but he can pump the fastball by you, topping out at 93 miles per hour. Working from the stretch, as always. Fires the 0-1. Swung on and pulled down the third baseline, foul, and it's 0-2. Ming has a great fastball, but it comes down to that splitter. It is really his strikeout pitch, and we'll see if we see it on 0-2, but it looks like a knuckleball. Yao Ming back on the mound after somebody retrieves the foul ball. Sets at the belt, sporting orange shoes. Sets, kicks, and delivers the 0-2. Misses way outside, looked like a slider. Count is 1-2. Dennis grounded out back to the pitcher in the first. Grounded out to short in the fourth, and grounded out to short again in the sixth. TJ Fontaine, who's reached once on a walk, waits on deck. Dennis bounces at the knees in the right-handed batter's box. Here comes the 1-2 from Chan Yao Ming. Fastball swung on and popped high in the air into left. Ziegler camps under it and makes the play. 1 down. As the crowd is quite silent in Kokomo, good crowd on hand. I'd estimate around 400 fans. Rivets on top of the Jackrabbits 2-1 thanks to 2 late runs, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. Jackrabbits scoring their 1 run in the 5th off of Jared Herzog. It's been lights out for the Rockford bullpen. Fontaine steps in. 0 for 2 with a walk. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. The first pitch swung on and fouled off. Third base side out of play. In Yao Ming's last outing in Traverse City, it was after a rain delay. It was a close game, but the Rivets lost that close game status after Yao Ming came in. The 0-1. Fastball misses low and away to the big left-handed batter. 1-1. But Yao Ming couldn't grip the baseball well. There was no rosin bag on the mound, and that gave him a lot of trouble. Now he looks much more composed. He winds and fires the 1-1. Jam shot foul ball straight back over the screen, and it's 1-2. Yao Ming is a closer overseas in Taiwan. He plays college ball over there. He picks up the rosin bag, tosses it a little bit in his hand, drops it near the rubber. Off to the right side. Comes set at the belt in an open stance. Squats in his delivery and delivers the 1-2. Pulled down the first base line, but foul. Fontaine was out in front of that one. Maybe the splitter hung up a little bit too long, and we'll have another 1-2 pitch. Fontaine, the redshirt freshman from San Diego State, could tie it with one swing of the bat. Didn't have a home run this spring. It's 5 for 20 overall. Another 1-2 pitch from Chan Yao Ming. Swung on and fouled off. Third base side, out of play. We'll do it again. Good battle from the Kokomo DH here. Yao Ming says his favorite MLB pitcher is Yu Darvish, and you can see it in his delivery. He sets again, and here's another 1-2 pitch. Liner into left field, sends Ziegler back, and he makes the play chest high. It's over near the gap, sent back about 3 steps in front of the warning track, and the Jackrabbits are down to their final out. Rivets on top of Kokomo by a score of 2-1. And it's going to come down to Ben Lavorsi. 2 flyouts to left field from Chan Yao Ming, the Rivets closer. And now he just has to retire Lavorsi, the left-handed batter, to slam the door. The Rivets have lost 5 of their last 6. In good position here to snap that trend. Chan steps off the mound, taps the rosin bag a few times, looks in for the sign from Max Malley. He's got it. And here's the first pitch to Ben Lavorsi. Fastball swung on and popped up over the screen, out of play. Chan Yao Ming's delivery is very deliberate. After he comes set, he'll take a lot of time after he picks up his leg. Sometimes he'll move it even behind his back leg and then come home. Sometimes he'll take more time than others. Think Johnny Cueto, perhaps, trying to throw off timing of hitters. Here's the 0-1 to Lavorsi. Splitter misses inside. Cut a little bit too far in. The count is 1-1. Lavorsi crowds the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 groundouts to his name today. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball misses high to the catcher. Lavorsi out in front, 2-1. Nobody up in the Rivets bullpen. Dusk descending upon Kokomo Municipal Stadium. It's been a great game between Great Lakes East rivals. Rivets looking to take the 2-1 series lead in the season. 2-1 is a fastball that misses low. The count is 3-1. Chan in danger of putting the tying run on first base in the bottom half of the ninth. Rivets looking for win number 3. Chan comes set at the belt. Kicks and throws. Swing and a miss. Got him with the changeup, I think. And the count is full at 3-2. Rabbits down to their final strike. Lavorsi holds his backhand out to the umpire as if to signal time and steps back in. Yao Ming has the sign. Sets at the belt. Here comes the payoff pitch to Lavorsi. Fouled off. We'll do it again. Fouled off the suite area. It's a 2-tiered stadium here at Kokomo Municipal. Press box on suite level. Beautiful facility. All turf field. Also home to the IU Kokomo Cougars. Chan Yao Ming with a new baseball. He's ready for another 3-2. It's on the way. Popped up. On the infield, Max Malley behind the plate giving chase. He's on the track, and he makes the grab at the barrier, and that's the ball game. The Rivets take care of business and win it 2-1 over the Kokomo Jackrabbits. Chan Yao Ming gets his first save in the United States. And again, the Rivets win it by a final of 2-1. We'll be right back with the totals after this on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Rivets with the victory over the Kokomo Jackrabbits by a final of 2-1 at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. Here are the final lines. First for the victorious Rockford Rivets. 2 runs on 7 hits, no errors, and 7 left. Kokomo, 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error, and 6 left. The winning pitcher is Cade Turner, the right-hander from University of Illinois Springfield, picks up his first victory of the season. And the losing pitcher is Brock Begesha, the freshman from Dayton, surrendering 2 runs in 2 1/3 innings of work, including a solo home run to Blake Mosley in the 7th, which tied the game at 1, and then was responsible for a bases-loaded walk from Connor Lynn, which gave the Rivets the deciding second run of the ball game. Chan Yao Ming picks up his first save as a Rockford Rivet here in the United States. He came over just a little less than a month ago, making his first trip to the United States, and he's been successful so far, working a 1-2-3 9th inning. The Rivets win this one in 2 hours and 34 minutes. The Rivets improved to 3-5, while the Jackrabbits dropped to 4-5. Great battle between these Great Lakes East rivals. Rockford will now move about approximately 2.5 games out of first place, depending on a few other results around the league tonight. These 2 teams will be back at it right here, same time, same place, 6:30 first pitch in the Eastern time zone. It'll be James Raffoff getting the ball for the Rockford Rivets, and the starter for Kokomo is to be determined. Stay tuned to social media and be sure to subscribe to the Rockford Rivets Radio YouTube channel so you can catch that radio call right here in the same place. That about wraps it up from Kokomo Municipal Stadium tonight. Again, the final. The Rockford Rivets capture their 3rd victory of the season by a final of 2-1. It was a close one. It was a good one. And this is Larry Larson saying so long, and thank you for joining us on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. We will talk to you tomorrow night. This has been a presentation of the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. So long, everybody.